Hey, whack people. This is the OCT, Octavius Haye, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our page today. We greatly appreciate it. If you are listening to the podcast, you can also find it on PODBEAN. The link will be in the description. And if you listen to our music, you can also listen on SoundCloud and DatPiff. Both links will be in the description also. And as always, please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button so you're informed every time we drop new content. Now enjoy this whack wisdom. I am whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast, yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack to me,
yeah.
Talk whack to me, talk whack
It's
to me.
the WACCast podcast, yeah.
We talk whack right now, we talk whack right to me, we talk whack right to me, we talk whack right to me.
Whoa. What is up, whack people? Yes, sir. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I hope everything is amazing for you all. As always, I am the Honorable OCT Octavius Haye, along with my co-host, the expressive E-Rob.
Yeah.
And you are listening to the WACCast podcast. E, how you doing, man?
I'm feeling wonderfully whack again and back again. Let's get it, man.
That's what's up. Well, you are the sun. This is the Sunday. I'm the sun too. This is the Sunday. So we got that sun power,
man. Yeah, it's where it is.
Yes. New day recording, new day dropping, y'all. We're gonna try something a little different here. So with that said, E, you ready to talk whack today?
Let's talk whack to 'em.
Let's talk whack to 'em, baby. Let's do it. All right.
Yeah.
So I guess continue on with the Joe Budden drama. Him and Charlamagne, it seems, it's come out that they actually got some beef with each other, or at least they're just not on speaking terms any longer. So initially, when Joe did his little rant against Rory and Mal, he did mention that he was, he talked about somebody. He didn't say their name, but he texted them good morning. They didn't say something like, "Dang, you mad off of good morning?" It had been speculated that he was talking about Charlamagne Tha God. Well, Charlamagne came out and said that yes, that was about him. He did text him good morning. He wasn't responding to him because he thinks that Joe is fake and acts different with him when they talk in private than how he acts in public. And he didn't appreciate Joe accusing him of leading a smear campaign or helping out in a smear campaign against Joe last year when he was leaving Spotify and all those things were coming out about him beating women and jerking dogs off. So what you think, E?
Well, I just feel like there's a shakeup going on in this little podcast medium. These guys both got people coming at them, right? Charlamagne had his own thing going on, and Joe Budden, he's just dealing with the Rory and Mal stuff still coming off of that, But I do feel like Charlamagne had a lot to say on this. Why? I feel like they had this past relationships coming out to surface. Guys doing the same thing in the same territory,
Nah, definitely, man. I think one of the things that Charlamagne was talking about, because they do things in the same territory, I guess Charlamagne and him were talking a little bit about business behind the scenes. Out in public, Charlamagne has always said Joe knows his worth, he just doesn't know how to negotiate it. And I think on there when he was talking about it, Charlamagne he was like, "Why is it always end bad like this, Joe? If you know what you're doing, why is it always ending bad?" And Joe also said that he didn't have any ownership in anything, that Charlamagne didn't have any ownership in anything, and that's why he didn't understand what Joe was doing with the Joe Budden podcast when he wouldn't take the deal with Spotify, when he was going back and forth with Spotify. And then, of course, Charlamagne says, well, I did own stuff before, and now I own what he owns, like the Black Effect Network or whatever. So he's putting people on. So it was just a lot about him critiquing, like he did before, critiquing Joe's handling of the business, and maybe Joe not being able to accept those critiques. which as a fellow Virgo, I understand. You don't want to, you don't like when people try to tell you what you're doing. You don't know what I'm doing. You ain't seeing it here. I know the Virgos, we get defensive about stuff like that. But it just looks like ultimately they just was too big. They two egos that just was always gonna clash, man. Yeah, I gotta be the main dude. Not you.
Ram people. But the Breakfast Club, I think the Breakfast Club, I don't say they do go on without Charlamagne, but it just feels like he's, like the way Joe Budden had his set up, like, how you gonna do this without Joe? The Joe Budden podcast, whatever. But the Breakfast Club, I feel like, of course you could find somebody to do this other than Charlamagne, not that they do it.
What? You crazy? What are you talking about? You mean to tell me the most entertaining, most
I stopped
loud
watching
guy
it a long time ago, but I hear you. Probably the most.
Is the guy that can be replaced? Oh, that's the guy we can replace.
I really feel like their time is ticking anyway.
Bro, people.
There's a lot more options since when they started. I'll just say that.
That's true. There are more options, but people have been saying that since forever. Yet all these things that were supposed to replace them have either fallen, have either ended, or just didn't get to as high as a level. They talking to politicians and world leaders and Farrakhan. They on a whole nother plane now. They not just focused on hip hop no more. They've so far past that. They still talk about it, but that show is so much more than that. And Charlamagne.
Yeah, that national syndication is can't really talk on that. Like, it's going to the radio. It's radio shit.
Dude, man, it's a running gag. Charlamagne not on it. With the interview, I ain't watching it. And if somebody Charlamagne ain't there, that's the first thing. Even like people say all the time, "What's Charlamagne at?" I'm talking Charlamagne.
Yeah, I feel like it would be hurt without him, but still.
You just a Charlamagne hater, man.
I haven't watched it. It has not hit as hard as it used to. I'm being real about this, bro.
Again, but maybe because he not as mean like he used to be. He used to talk down on it, but talk stuff, be mean, make jokes about people. Oh, this person cold, their career over. He don't talk too much like that no more.
Kind of like I think it's just coming to an. It's just in the round for the time, bro. Everything has its time.
I mean, maybe, but I don't see no signs of that. When you think it's gonna end? In what? 6 months? A year? 2 years? 5 years?
I get the summer. By the end of summer, fall's time, we'll be like, something else.
You just said that you think that the Breakfast Club is gonna be, that show's gonna be over.
I'm talking very whack, but yeah.
By the summertime.
Yeah, by the end of the summer, yeah.
By the end of the summer, okay. By the end of the summer. E, come on, man. You know damn well that the Breakfast Club is not going to be gone by the end of the summer.
Hey. We'll see where this goes. But man, this show has just not done it for me in a while. And they get the interviews, and if I watch it, it will be because I'm watching somebody there. It's like their regular everyday things. I don't know. Their content is stale to me.
Man, I don't know. I still be on there listening, getting the information from them, hearing their point of views. And a lot of people do. They still got big numbers. So I don't know. Did you look into a fortune glass? You must have seen the future, because that's a bold statement to say by the end of this summer, this year, that the Breakfast Club.
I'm talking. Hey, that's just,
all right, we'll revisit.
I think it's closer to the end than the beginning. How about that?
Maybe, but I wouldn't think that it would end because people don't care. I just think if it does end, it's because they just tired of doing it. Maybe they want to do different things.
Well, we'll see how these controversies pan out. All right?
I know, right?
That's big dependent.
Now, before we continue on with that, what do you think about, because Charlamagne's not the only person to say this, that Joe talks different in public than he does in private. So when he's talking to you private, he's more understandable and stuff, and then he goes public, it's like, you niggas is wrong.
Is that the Hollywood lens? Is that the red dot programming when they're recording, when the light's on? It kind of seems like that. And even on some of the podcasts, we podding, you can kind of see him turn whatever that is on. Is that the ego? And even Rory and Mal were talking about that his ego came on, and yes, I have it, and he was like, that's something I have to check and work on and things like that. So I do feel like that's kind of just part of what comes in the territory of talking to the world so much and so frequently and having that there all the time, you know.
But it kind of messed up him and Charlamagne's friendship, and they was like really trying to work on stuff together. They had that like end of the year review thing they used to do. and now it's just done for it. And people kind of like them as a duo. They were a good combo. Joe's crazy, but speaks his mind. Charlamagne's more calm, but speaks his mind. Thought that those two personalities mixed well together and gave some good opinions. You really felt like you believe what they were saying is what they really felt. So I wish that they could have worked that out, but you know, like I said, Charlamagne said Charlamagne said he didn't like that Joe was insinuating that he was part of a quote unquote smear campaign against him. I guess probably because Charlamagne has had his own smear campaigns against him in the past, and it looks like it's coming back full circle with these with the rape case or rape allegations coming back to light on him, on Charlamagne. This all started with the man of the hour, like the new hotness nigga right now, Kwame Brown. With Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club, we're talking about him going back and forth with Stephen Jackson, Matt Barnes, Stephen A. Smith, Jamila Hill, a whole bunch of people. And Charlamagne was like, leave him alone, started talking about his family history, how his dad's a killer, his brother's a killer, and saying all this stuff. Of course, Kwame Brown took offense to that. Like, why are you airing out my family business? What they do is not me. You another nigga that tear black men down, and then start talking about you raped a kid and all this. Which of course brought all that stuff back again about
they're
the
both
allegation.
From South Carolina, I'm pretty sure. So that's just a whole nother thing too. Like I went to school with your family and things like that. And that's the reputation you bring, or you just air out. And like I have to talk about it being on a national scale, which is why I feel like it's such impactful. Like maybe Kwame saying stuff on his thing versus saying it on the Breakfast Club. That's going to millions on the radio on these huge airwaves. Just a little bit different, you know. So
what do you feel about him actually? The statements that Charlamagne said when he did bring up his family's criminal history, his father burying a woman, killing a woman, burying her, and his brother committing murders too. Just bringing up his family's criminal history. How'd you feel about that?
Atrocious as it is, like that's not a part of what he did, you know. That's my dad. That's not me. I'm my own person. So
right.
Like you have to just, and I feel like he was just generally speaking, he didn't have all the facts, and even when he said it, he's like, I can't even remember. I need to go ask my family and see what this is exactly. And it just came to him. As he was like, Kwame Brown, I ain't heard about him in a while. Ain't you from my stuff? I just think it just came. It was a game time thing, you know, not very thought out. I feel like if he could go back, he might not do it that way, you know.
Well, he definitely probably would not do it that way because the man brought up some stuff, which of course. The rape allegations, which we got to say that there was no Charlamagne's DNA was not found on the girl, and there were multiple stories told, so it wasn't one consistent story, and that's one of the reasons why he was able to get a lesser charge. But don't matter because then Funkmaster Flex, Charlamagne's mortal enemy, came out with the audio of the girl's mother crying, saying that Charlamagne did rape her daughter. And saying he got away with his good attorneys and they're going to fight for justice and just, bawling her eyes out. And Flex saying he don't believe Charlamagne because he's hearing how sad this mother is. Now, what do you think about that?
It's just enemies. It's just what's inside of cancel culture. You know, when somebody's getting that scrutiny and they get blitzed, man. When it's your turn to be, I guess, I want to say judged, but when it's your turn to get checked, I think he's just getting checked right now from the directions, bruh. All directions.
Nah, but what you think about Funkmaster Flex jumping in on it though?
Again, another nigga in the same territory, you know. Maybe he's been wanting to pick this spot, I'm waiting for Charlamagne to get Charlamagne. Had this. Where'd you even get this audio? How does he have it? You know, I'm thinking those kind of things.
I forgot what he said show this was from, but he got the audio from some show. But I think about it as just like, but don't come in here when it's like the hot moment. If you really so concerned, you would have been said something about this. You just try to embarrass this nigga. You don't really care about any of that stuff because you would have been said something. You just want to embarrass this dude. And then Wendy Williams' ex-husband, who never liked Charlamagne either, got him fired from her radio show years ago. He come out saying stuff now, saying like, and admitting that he was the one behind the smear campaign against Charlamagne when that first came out. He was the one who exposed it. So all these dudes come out again, and I don't think they really care about this girl, because if they did, they would have been fighting for. They would have been saying this stuff for years. They waited till it was a hot topic again, and now they want to go ahead and get on it just out of spite of him, not out of concern for the girl.
And this is why I just chalk this up to cancel culture. This is what happens when people want to. He has been in the light for a minute, and I feel like he's gained people who don't like him. And I think they're just coming out at the same time, because that seems to be what happens. When one person jumps on, you got a whole bunch more people coming at you now,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I just want everybody to know, this was investigated by the police. They could not find any evidence supporting that Charlamagne had done anything. So that's not me saying that the girl's lying or that he didn't. I'm just saying we got to look at that too. We can't just jump to conclusion. We have to also look at the facts where they are, and if you want to go look further into it, that's fine. But don't just off the bat, oh yeah, he did it, because it was looked into, and he's a young black man from the South. You don't think that they ever use any excuse to throw his nigga in jail so they looked into it. They couldn't find any DNA evidence. Who knows what's gonna happen from there? Charlamagne's just going through it right now. I bet he wish he had left he told all the other people to leave Kwame Brown alone. I wish he had left him alone. I know he wish he had left him alone.
Yeah, and it was almost indirect. You told him, like, leave him alone. But no, let me air out a few things.
Right.
Like, bro.
Just stop. Don't do that.
Yeah, just don't talk.
Yeah, having a bad day. Another person, or I guess another two people, a couple in fact, they're having a bad day. It seems like T.I. and Tiny, man. This sexual abuse allegation thing has gone on even further. What were just allegations now have been reported to the police, and because of that, LAPD have launched an investigation looking into the abuse to see if it's true. So what do you think about that, E?
Well, back to the shot clock, but I did watch the thing, and they said they changed the law in 2017 to where you can change the allegation. Everything that happened before 2017, you can have, I guess, alleged things that go on. You can go check that. But if it happened before then,
If it afterwards, so
yeah. So that was first, because I think they said this happened like 2005, which is just, man.
Yeah.
And then, like, why are you jumping on people when it's that time, I guess, man? Like, and this has been going on for a while too. Like, he's been fighting this. I feel like we talked about this even before too. Like,
yeah, we did.
Not touch anything sexual. Everybody was consenting adults. That's all he was getting at, and I'm sticking to it. I think he's sticking to that. I feel like he's gonna be sticking to that.
Now I feel it, man. Definitely, like we said with the Charlamagne thing. Well, while that one, the investigation happened, this investigation is happening now. I think there are over 30 women who have accused him, so we'll see. There's also a man that's accusing me.
That is a high number, and it's just like, so everybody's lying.
Why can't they be lying? Why can't they be lying?
What is this consent programming? It was consent now, and then later on, years later, it's not. I'm not really sure how those lines get moved around.
And you know what also happens a lot of time, and this is not trying to be like blaming the victim or anything, but a lot of times you go out, you party, you drinking, you might pop some pills or some, take a little, have a little good night, and not thinking in your right mind, and y'all all vibe and have a good time, and you do some stuff with these, the girls, they do some stuff with the couple, and then they wake up the next day like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that, and they feel a little bad, and now we in this environment where they make you feel like, well, if you didn't like that, then you were taken advantage of, without reading the whole situation. If y'all both was messed up, everybody was vibing, everybody was kicking it, and some stuff happened, and then the next day once y'all sober, it was like, oh shoot, we all agreed to do it, we was all drunk, we all was out of our right mind. But we live in a society now where it's like, no, if you didn't like it, it doesn't matter, you're taking advantage of. Without taking any, accountability for your own actions or what you decided to do. And I think that may be a case with stuff like this, where we're seeing that now, because so many women were like, oh, I can't believe I had sex with that guy. I was drunk. Now, if you had sex with a guy, he was drunk. He raped me, and I was drunk too. We was both having sex together. What are you talking about? It's not like that no more.
Right. Where's the consent?
Right. Now you're like, you don't have sex with a girl that's drunk, because if you wake up the next morning and it used to be like on TV shows, people used to wake up like, oh my God, I can't believe I had sex with with this person. I was so drunk last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's like scary. Like, oh shoot, are you okay?
That's just the territory right now.
Not saying that's what happened with this time with those 30 girls. I'm not saying that's for sure. I'm saying that's a possibility. Also, that may not be what happened at all. Just throwing out some other things. So nobody kill me.
Do you feel this is like a one of those defamation of character things, or they're just coming at T.I., Cliff Harris? Because when it got to CBS News, I'm like, wow, you know what I mean?
It's on Fox too.
That's kind of, it's high. It's pretty up there. Like, rapper T.I. and his actual name, when they start putting the real names in, I'm like, oh man.
Clifford? Oh shoot.
No, man.
when niggas call him Clifford, you like, oh yeah, he on another level of the news right now.
Man, I just don't like to see them in the headlines for that, you know?
Yeah, man. Now, that's crazy about it. Like, now you got a man accusing him. And I think when you start getting to them territory, it's like when that fat woman accused Usher of giving her herpes. It started to get a little silly. Now it's like, all right, okay. First we was kind of taking it serious. Now it's like, is this real, or y'all just trolling, trying to get some attention or trying to get a check, which is what T.I. accused in his song. Did you listen to the song?
Yeah.
Where he said like they just thought they probably thought that he was just gonna give him a check and be done with it, but he said he going with it to the end.
Hey man, I'm
Taking it
with
to
that.
try.
Stand up for yourself, speak for yourself, man, and don't just let these motherfuckers slander your name.
Yeah, for real. If you didn't do it, and if you willing to go through, I know a lot of people are willing to just settle because nobody wants to deal with court all the time. But if you willing to deal with it, and you want to make sure your name is not synonymous with, taking advantage of people, drugging them or whatever, you and your wife's name too, go ahead, man. But I guess for the future, maybe y'all should just, make sure the woman is sober. And if y'all haven't already started that, have them signing them, whatever they call them things, you sign an agreement to. Yeah, them waivers agreeing to y'all, you consent to whatever y'all did. Cause it's looking scary out here. And women from the past, look at T.I. I know T.I. and Tiny ain't the only ones who's, partying, vibing. Girls have drunk, high off something. That can come back later now and be like, hey, he took advantage of me when you was just as lit as they was. But that's the way it is, man.
You hear this story again and again, and I feel like we're gonna hear it again and again. This ain't the last one.
Nah, bro. See, if they get away with this with T.I., it's probably gonna be a lot more than rappers
That's why
back
I'm like,
in the
bro,
day.
if you ain't do this, T,
You gotta fight for all of them.
Come on, bro. Tired of this. I'm tired of this.
Let's see, man. Tired of it, bro. I know Tip and T.I. and Tiny tired of it, so like, my condolences to everybody. Nothing's been proven yet. There's allegations. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If anything did happen to those people that accused T.I. and Tiny, sorry for that. Prayers and well wishes to you all, and just hope that the truth is able to come out. We're able to get past this and move on and go forward. Now, one thing I'm looking forward to coming up is stuff from the past, which is another versus battle between the King, the Alpha, the Omega, the Almighty,
the Lil,
the Man,
the Lil,
the Myth, the Legend, the
the
Icon,
Lil.
the Greatest, the GOAT, the Boat,
the OG Lil,
the Great Black Lil Hope, Prince King of the Old Town himself, Death Row's very own, So Def's very own, Weezy, Bow Wow, Shad Moss, who don't want to be like Moss the Boss, taking on Soulja Boy in a versus battle.
Soldier.
Yeah, Big Draco. A versus battle, 1-on-1. Romeo wanted it, but they threw his ass to the side. Go ahead and sing Static Shock songs, bro. It's about Bow Wow and Soulja Boy. So what you think, E, when you heard this versus battle was going on?
Yeah, I'm for it. Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
All right, we had to check the Romeo because Romeo was like, "Hey, Bow, we could do it, man." Like, I'm sorry, we looked. It can't do it.
We looked for you. I already knew.
And I was trying to just be in his corner. I feel you. They were both a little at a time,
See this dude right here.
But no, Soulja is like more the weight class, if you say.
E, how long are you gonna doubt me, man?
Doubt?
I tried to tell you, man. I tried to save you from yourself.
No, man. I was just saying. I see where Rome was coming from.
Because they both kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta do something. You gotta throw something out there.
I tried to save you from yourself, E. You
Okay.
really truly had in your mind that that the great Bow Wow was going to dirty himself, waste his time on Lil Romeo?
Yeah, you gotta have a warm up, right?
That ain't even a warm up, bruh.
Oh.
That ain't even a warm up. That's like you say, hey, I'm warming up for my fight, so I train by stepping on ants. Nigga, no. You ain't ready. That ain't no warm up.
Oh man, jokes aside, this should be a good one, man. All right, they both got hits. It'll be a fun one. They got hits together. They got songs together.
Yep.
And,
Got a whole project together.
these guys know how to market too, so they're gonna spin this into getting some more music out, and I think it'll just be good, bro. I'm for it.
The Bow Wow gotta drop that cold-blooded diss track he did over the Hit 'em Up beat. That was hard. But did you watch any of their videos? You know, they both did their own separate videos talking trash, and then they came together talking and stuff. You watched any of them?
I did, and I also saw I guess the retro one whenever Bow Wow was going at him from a long time ago. Like, I'm finna end so that was pretty funny too.
With his
man.
goons?
Yeah, this guy, where they
See, man, that's the battle I wanted. That's the battle. This is the battle that we all wanted. Majority of the internet clown Romeo, because it's like, come on, bro, get out of here.
And
So-
he had to get clowned for that to even be like, dude, this is no. And I tried to give him the benefit. Can he even stay? And like, no, no.
Well, they would have just been like, Bow Wow, Romeo, just get off the stage. This is just finna be a Bow Wow concert now. If that would have happened, man. So, poor Romeo. Sorry to hear that, man. I know he probably heard about that, but I mean, you just don't got the catalog to go against them. And we want to have a fun Verzuz. This is gonna be a fun Verzuz. It's coming up in June. I don't know. I don't think they gave a date yet. Or they may have while we're recording this. Who knows? But coming out in June. So I'm gonna be watching that. We're definitely gonna be reviewing that. And who you got, man? Who you think gonna win?
Oh, the soldier.
Of course you are.
Of course, you know. And I need to ask you. I don't. But
No, you don't. You know going with Bow Wow. You would pick Annihilator over Bow Wow, nigga. You just a hater.
Look, y'all, I don't really hate Bow Wow. Right? This is the crazy part.
Don't appreciate the nigga, so
See,
You-
selective appreciation.
you ignore him. If you didn't hate Bow Wow, you would have never tried to say that Romeo should go against him. You'd be like,
Maybe I
that's
just want to see your knockouts.
it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that
can't. That's not.
that's not what you told me.
Oh,
You was just like, come on, man. They got songs. They both. You was like, I don't think that Bow Wow got the hits to go against Soulja Boy. I'm like, all right, see, and that's why I'm happy that Bow went on there. So I got 7 #1 hits, bruh. Not to mention all the other records he got. Not to mention all the features he got, bruh. He's so confident.
It'll be a good one. It'll be a good one.
He's so confident. He told Soulja Boy, you can even put records that you produced on. I don't even care. Put them records on that you produced. I can just go off of my hits. I wouldn't have said that if I was Bow Wow, but that's how confident the Prince is. So we're gonna see the Prince knock this nigga out, knock Big Drake on the floor. Big Drake gonna jump off live and run away.
No, they're gonna dap up and handshake and play their song. Like that's how it's gonna end. It's gonna probably be a cool end. I'm not even gonna be mad.
Probably. Now they saying cool, man. Now forget that, man. The spirit of competition.
Sure. In the heat of the battle,
Nigga,
yeah,
Soulja Boy
that's gonna be on.
finna he gonna run like them old Scooby-Doo and Flintstone cartoons. When they make the little sound effect with their feet for they jet off. That's what that nigga gonna do.
Man.
Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy. I'm excited for it. I'm happy for it. I don't think I've been this excited for one since Snoop versus DMX. Rest in
Right.
peace. I think it's the last one I was really excited for. I'm really excited for this one because I respect Bow Wow as the legend he is, and it's time for niggas. I've heard too many people say Bow Wow, he ain't got no hits. And I always tell them I'm the right one to come to, because I damn sure show you what Bow Wow got. I'll tell you what he got. And I'm ready for the world to see Bow Wow finna smoke this dude. Whenever it is in June, we're going to be watching it. I'm going to bring the Kleenexes for E-Rob, because he's going to be heartbroken. Soldier. I witnessed it. I couldn't do anything to save her. That's what's going to happen. So it's going to be a celebration for me. After that Verzuz, it's going to be a mourning for E. We can do.
And then maybe these guys can take this to the WWE. Weren't they supposed to tag team? Look
Yeah,
at this. Now
yeah.
they're battling. Look how that happened.
Yeah, maybe they're making for SummerSlam. Tag team SummerSlam win the titles. Be great. You know, be a great way for them to come
Carry
together.
the momentum. Whatever happens, carry this momentum over. New tour, millennium, whatever y'all do. Carry this momentum over to what happens next, please.
Yeah, they talking about doing an album together too.
Hey, here you go, man. That'll
Another
be with it. Another one.
So yeah, all right, yeah, I'm done being a stand for Bow Wow for this week's episode. I think that's all. E, but you got anything else before we go?
It's good, man. No, feeling you good, peeps. Peeps, whack peeps. All right.
Alright then, well if that's it then, well thank you so much for tuning in again this week and taking in our whack wisdom. We will be back again next week, so we hope that you tune in then as well. And if there's nothing else, this is the WACCast podcast and we are
What?
whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack
It's
to
the
me.
WACCast podcast. Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.
Yeah.
Talk whack to me. Talk whack to me.